All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the Unit 2, Section 1 notes. And in this unit, we're really going to start to talk about a few algebraic concepts and start talking about expressions and equations and variables. We're going to use order of operations. So just like I said for Unit 1, this unit is really, really important that you understand and ask questions when you have them, because this is going to serve for the foundation for a lot of other things that we're going to do in pre-algebra this year. So let's go ahead and get started with a few definitions. Just grab a pen here. All right, so a numerical expression consists of numbers and operations. And just as I'm writing it here, you should be writing it on your notes page as well. So just numbers and operations, it does not have an equal sign. So an example would be 7 plus 3, 4 times 9, negative 2 minus 10, and so forth. So no equal sign, only numbers and operations there. A variable is a letter used to represent one or more numbers. So for example, a variable could be X, it could be Y, it could be H. The letter does not matter. Those are all variables. A variable expression, similar to the numerical expression, you can probably already guess what it is, consists of numbers, variables, and operations. So that might look something like X plus 6, 7 minus Y, 100X. All right, the last term that we have here is to evaluate, and that just simply means that you would substitute a number for each variable. Okay, we are going to evaluate some expressions. When A equals 9, B equals 4, C equals 11. So it says B plus 9, so I'm just going to plug in that 4 wherever I see the B. So this would be 4 plus 9, and my answer then is 13. We're going to do the same thing with number 2. Whenever you see a number and a letter right next to each other, that tells you to multiply. So we're going to have 2 times C, which is 11, minus 5. So that's 22 minus 5, which leaves us with 17. Again, we're just going to substitute 9 for A. On number 3, 13 minus 9 is in fact 4. All right, moving right along to number 4. A and B are right next to each other, so we're going to multiply those together. 9 times 4, all of that over 6. 36 over 6 is just 6. All right, number 5 looks a little trickier, but it's the exact same thing. We're just plugging our variables in. So 4 times B is 4 times 4, plus 3 times 11, minus 5 times 9. So this would be 16 plus 33 minus 45. 16 plus 33 is 49, minus 45 gives us an answer of 4. All right, friends, I'm going to have you try number 6. Again, if you have any questions, please be sure and ask your teacher. All right, I'm going to move on to page 2 on the back there, and we're going to start with another definition. So a verbal model describes a problem using words or labels. As well as math symbols to relate to the words. Sorry, to relate the words. So a verbal model describes a problem using words or labels and math symbols to relate the words. So the difference of 4 and a number, the key word is difference here. Difference tells us to subtract. So the way we would write that as a verbal model would be 4 minus n. Quotient in number 2 tells us to divide. So the quotient of a number in 18 is simply n over 18, or n divided by 18. In number 3, the product of 25 and a number, product tells us to multiply. So that is simply 25n. And lastly, in number 4, 15 more than a number is just n plus 15. Now I used n here as my variable because n is the first letter in number. However, you can use any variable that you like. All right, we're going to look at 2 word problems here. It says a studio charges a sitting fee of $25 plus $7 for each portrait sheet ordered. Write an expression that can be used to find the total cost to have photographs taken. Then find the cost of purchasing 12 portraits. So just for showing up at the studio, we have to pay $25. Then we have to pay $7 times the number of sheets ordered. We don't know how many sheets we're going to order yet, so I'm going to use that variable P for that. It then tells us to figure out how much it would cost if we did know how many portraits we were ordering, so we're going to replace P with 12. So that would be 25 plus 7 times 12. 25 plus 84 is $109 for the 12 portraits. Again, if you have any questions on how I set that up, please be sure and ask your teacher. All right, number 6. You complete a project for your humanities class. There are 3 parts to the project worth a total of 100 points. So I know the total is already going to equal 100. You get 50 out of 50 on part A and 23 out of 25 on part C. So I don't know what I got on part B. It then says the total score you received is 93 out of 100. How many points did you receive on part B? So I'm actually going to go ahead and change this 100 here to 93 because we didn't get 100 on our project for humanities class. It was worth a total of 100 points, but we only scored 93. So what I want you to do is read the entire problem before you start plugging numbers in. Because had I not fixed that, right, and had we used the number 100, we would have gotten a wrong answer. So make sure that you read the entire problem first before you plug in numbers. That was an excellent example of what to avoid there. So 50 plus 23 is 73, plus B equals 93. We then know that B must equal 20 points. All right, my friends, that is it for section 1. There are a few review problems here at the end, which have you doing some decimal operations with each operation. Please be sure that you show your work for that. Remember, you cannot take the check-in until you have finished the entire set of notes, including the review problems. But be sure and ask your teachers if you have any questions. Thanks so much.